So how to jump. I'd say the most common thing I see with people I coach is what they need to improve on is trying to make height on a jump. So that comes down to good bunny hop technique. So if you don't know how to do a bunny hop yet, just click up here and check out our video on how to do that first. Basically what you want to be doing is using your weight to lift the bike in the air. If you're relying on your arms to pick the front wheel up or your feet to pick up the back wheel, then that's not going to work very well for a jump. So look at getting your weight, doing a nice bunny hop first. Once you've got that, great. It's then all about timing and using that bunny hop on a jump to make height. So the very first part of lifting the bike up into the air, the bunny hop, is the manual. You've got to pump and then slide the bike forward. You get that L shape, your weight's nice and low to that rear wheel, and really important that your arms stay straight. If you then rely on a pull to lift the bars, it's really common for the front wheel to go a little bit sideways, and that's the most common reason why people hit a jump and go sideways when they don't want to. Because I've gone nice and low with my hips for the manual, I then just stand up and forward, and that pops the back wheel up. So I'm really using the weight to lift the back wheel. If you rely on pulling with your feet, either a scoop back against your pedals or a pull on your clips, you'll only ever be able to pick the back wheel up that amount of bend you've got in your legs. So if you use that on a jump and you pull the back wheel up and then you're coming up short on the jump, there's no way you can go from there. If I've used my hips to lift the back wheel up, I can then choose to scoop and pick that back wheel up a little bit more. So if I'm in the air and realise I'm going to come up short, that's a great technique. So it's all about doing most of this with your weight and then relying on your feet a little bit if you need to. So now you've got the feel for the bunny hop, let's talk about timing. That's really important. So it starts off with a pump and a manual. You always pump a transition, so that's that down to up transition here. I'm squashing the bike into the face, and then I'm driving the front wheel into the air. So I'm not manualing, but I should be heels down, arms pretty straight, driving that front wheel up into the air. And then I only think about lifting my hips up and forward to lift up the back wheel at the very top of the jump. So I'm going front wheel, pausing. As my back wheel gets to the top, that's when I then stand up to lift the rear wheel up. So I'm not, there's no real secret to this. I'm just exaggerating what's already happening. But something that is really common, I see it a lot, is people start going toes down as soon as the front wheel takes off. So they're actually picking their back wheel up really early. If you're struggling with not clearing jumps, video yourself, look in slow-mo. Is your back wheel going right to the top of the jump? If not, give it a big pause. Once you've done your manual, wait, then lift your back wheel up. What you're aiming to do is nose the bike in, try and match the angle of the downslope, nosing the bike in, so that your weight is actually over the back wheel, so that when you land, you can then give it a big pump on that transition if you need to. Another good trick for nosing the bike in is once both wheels are up in the air, you can then decide whether you want to nose it in by pushing the bars away from you. That's going to dip the front wheel and pick the back wheel up. Just be careful, that's almost like that tuck I was saying about, so you're then quite close to the back wheel. So once you're there, you can't then bring the back wheel up anymore should you want to. So there's how to make height on jumps using good bunny hop technique. Obviously there's other things you can do with the jump, like squash jumps or even tricks, and their videos we'll do soon, but leave your comments down below for what you want to see related to jumps. For more on GMBN, click up here for how to manual,
and click down here for how to bunny hop,
or just click on us to subscribe to GMBN.
We get laughed at.